Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading a new text listener by me. So let's get into it. Xiao had always told you to call out his name whenever you deemed it necessary. And he was not joking with that. He meant it. But ever since you started dating, you had never once used that opportunity to call upon him. And he was not upset about it. It was for necessary situations, because then he would be teleporting to your side in an instant, and he knew that you would never say such a thing unless you were absolutely serious and something bad was going on. But since you had not called on him, he knew that things must have been very well, and he hoped that this would be the situation for years to come. He never once wanted you to use his name to call upon him in an emergency, if only because he knew the implications of that. He never wanted you to be in danger in the first place. And so, he had never expected it to happen, as you were not really in a dangerous profession yourself, and for the most part, were out of the way of most dangerous things. So when you called upon him, it was a little bit too much all at once. It had scared him, all of a sudden, when he heard your voice, and he had immediately teleported to you, wanting to get to you as soon as possible and know what was wrong. And he didn't see anything at all. It was dark inside your home, and you couldn't sense you around. Wyon, please, if you can hear me, just answer me. I'm right here, Wyon, he yelled out, turning on the lights and looking for you. And after a couple of minutes, you got up from behind the couch, smiling shyly, a little bit nervous that you made him mad at you. I'm right here, Xiao. He looked at you for a moment, his eyes wide. He was overcome with relief, that was true, but he was also a little bit upset. Just what are you doing? I was, I was doing something very important. Allow me to tell you. You see, Jolie, he had told me that you were not really resting, and were not going to stay home at all. He wants you dressed, and he told me to take care of you, so of course, as your partner, I should do everything I can to make sure I can fulfill my contract. He said he will not be doing contracts anymore, so it's not a contract. You did not have to fulfill it. True, but, I consider a promise a contract of sorts. So, I just want the best for you, Xiao. I know that maybe I shouldn't have pranked you like that. It was a little bit fun. But, most importantly, I need you. And you don't see that. I've told you so many times that you need to rest, that you need to take a break, and it's like you never listen to me. I'm speaking, and you're not listening at all. So, you're not exactly helping. He saw the point that you were trying to make, but even then, it was still something difficult, and he was having so much trouble trying to consider your words. Why did Zhongli tell you to take care of him? He was no child, and by no means was he someone that needed help or assistance to do very normal things. He could take care of himself, for the most part. Look, Xiao, I really need you right now. And also, I need to know that you're taking care of yourself. You barely even sleep anymore. I know that you take things seriously, and I and everyone appreciate that. But it doesn't mean that you can't just value yourself for a moment. You are important too. You have to know that. He hesitated for a moment, then sighed deeply, looking away. I understand your concern, Wyon. I suppose you're not really wrong. I'm merely surprised by the effort that you've made. But I suppose I shall consider your words. This is not a matter for debating. Come on. Besides, I made you almond tofu. I'm sure you want that, no? He looked at you for a moment. You had mentioned his one weakness. Besides you, of course. And he smiled, sighing softly. Alright, alright. I suppose I will stay today. He initially had many colorful words to say about your prank, but after you told him of Charlie's thoughts, he really knew that it must have been dire. He was exhausted, that was true, but he was so used to immersing himself in more work to drown out the thoughts in his head and his exhaustion that it kind of felt difficult to relax. But maybe he should listen to Charlie's words. And right now that he had someone to help with it, it certainly seemed like a suitable time. And after he ate, you took him in your arms, cuddling with him on the couch. How do you feel now? A lot better, right? He nodded, closing his eyes as he leaned against your chest. I suppose it was not a bad idea. I should have listened to you sooner. But it's difficult for me, Mayan. But I appreciate your effort. But please, tell Johnny not to interfere like this again. So you would want me to tell him that? Are you really sure? He hesitated, then shook his head, and you laughed softly, kissing him and making him blush. I know. He really cares about you. And I think he actually enjoys this a little bit. Cuddling you and all, even if not directly. Please stop teasing me. Alright, I will. But I'm just glad that you're here now. And about the prank, I'm really sorry. I thought it would be funny. Just promise not to do it again. I promise. I mean, I will definitely call your name again. But definitely not like this. He nodded and hugged you tightly, burying his face into the crook of your neck. There were many things that he hated, and many things that he also wanted to lecture you about. But right now, none of them had a place in his mind. As being in your arms, and feeling your heartbeat, and your warm breath against him, occupied his mind most. Maybe some rest was good for him, and he truly needed it now.